Welcome back to the second video where we're talking about more marketing strategies to help you build your business. So let's kick off with a business launch party. The first thing you should do as soon as you have gone through this email training program and have set yourself up is plan a business launch party. After all, you're now in business for yourself, and if you've never owned a business before, then why not celebrate? If you have owned a business before, well, who needs an excuse for a party? This business is fun, so why not start as you mean to go on? You need to prepare your invitations and invite as many of your friends and colleagues as possible for a few hours of socialising, and for once it's perfectly okay to talk about business. A weekend would almost always work better, but make sure you give plenty of notice and make it sound exciting on the invite. Ordinarily, I would say avoid alcohol in a business situation, but as you're calling it a party, and as long as it's treated with respect, having a few drinks will probably relax the mood. Be prepared to give away freebies, samples and brochures. Invest it in a really good display and prepare a good 10-minute only speech at the beginning. Then open up the party to questions and discussion. The objective is just to get people to know what you're now doing. If anyone wants a full-blown presentation, you can agree to meet them later in the week, or give them your card with the URL for this training system and let them find out for themselves. Most people will be there just for the social gathering and the drinks, and that's perfectly fine, but some will be much more curious and will want to know more. It is possible to get a little negativity sometimes, but if you've gone through this course, you'll be ready for them, and you may even change a few blinkered opinions. The further training on launch parties that we'll go into later in much more detail will cover some of the things that you can do on the day to appeal to your guests' curiosity. Team 55. Well, Team 55 involves getting the details of businesses that you know. See the PDF download with this video. The way it works is this. You send a letter to all the business people that you know and respect. That's important. You tell them that you are trying to build a network of trusted businesses that you can pass on to everyone when it's complete. Here's how it works. You send the form together with a covering letter to as many of the specialised businesses that you know and trust. Once again, that is important. That become clear. And who you are convinced want to grow their own business. Only allow one person per category, and don't allow anyone to be from another networking, or any of your other networking circles. Otherwise, this isn't an additional strategy. When you have filled out this Team 55, start another one. Nobody can be in both groups except you, of course. Make sure you're at the heart of the group. You are the chairman. You send out your newsletter, and if you move to having meetings, you should always be one of the presenters. Team 55 is virtually free and not that time consuming. And although it is a medium-term strategy, it can deliver immediate results if your first line of members is strong and set up and briefed properly. Go for quality every time. People hungry for new business. And always make sure they are very sure of what you are looking for and how you want it to happen. This gets business people interested in you and what you are doing. You will pass on the list of frustrated businesses to the whole group, and of course it gives you the opportunity to talk about what you do at the same time. Many small business owners are looking for something else, and they have the added advantage in that they are already running a business, so they are further down the understanding road to the everyday person. Okay, referrals. This is by far the easiest, and it's certainly the lowest cost way to build your business. If you are always professional in your approach, you will have no trouble at all getting referrals from people. Right now, the main thing you need are introductions to people that you do not currently know. The best way to approach this is through the use of great questions. We covered some of this in another video. But in essence, the more professional sounding your question is, the better response you will have. Okay, so here's an example of how to ask for referrals. And herein lies the first secret. You must ask for the referrals, and you are 90% of the way there. Always make sure you ask for referrals. I know I keep using the word always, and that's because I want you to make sure you are always asking the question, because that's how you're going to get the best referrals. So here's what you can say. Hello Jim, as you know, I'm building my new fragrance distribution business, and I was wondering if I could ask you for your help. I realise you're not my target market and you're not interested yourself, and I respect that. Can I just ask, who do you know that may be interested in what I do? Now you need to decide if you're looking for product interested parties or business builders. Try not to confuse your prospect by asking for both at the same time. So for example, you could say, who do you know who would appreciate top quality fragrances at exceptionally low prices? Always ask, who do you know, rather than, do you know anybody? Because you need their unconsciousness to start searching for an answer. If you ask if they know anybody, they'll just say no. If you ask, who do you know, they have to start thinking of who they know. Tell your prospect you will call their referred person once. Be very polite, and you will offer them the opportunity, either the business or the chance to discuss the products. And you'll be professional at all times, just as you are right now. No hard selling, no making a nuisance of yourself, no disrespecting their privacy. In fact, it's usually better to get them to call the referral first, if you can, to get them to say something like this. Hi Jane, it's Jim. I'm calling just to let you know that a guy, girl, called whoever you are, will be calling to talk to you about. Now that could be either the business opportunity or the products. I figured you may be interested in what he or she has to say. He, she is very professional and respects your time and privacy, but I think you should have a listen because it might be something that you'll be interested in. Then when you call, all you need to say is, hi Jane, it's here from FM. Jim gave me your number and suggested that I call you. Have I called at a good time to talk to you for about 2 or 3 minutes? Always ask if it's okay now to talk to them and how much time you need. In fact, you only never need about 2 or 3 minutes because you open with a question. Something like, Jim says that you may be interested in looking for a business opportunity that you can run alongside your current job. Would that be true? If she says, well, I guess I'm always looking, so yes, that could be true. Then you have just got her permission to talk. When the 3 minutes are up, you could say, I did say this call would only take 3 minutes long, and we're running over a little, so is it okay to carry on for a while? So I can give you the information that you need right now. Would that be okay? Always respect other people's time and space. Be polite and to the point. Don't be over familiar until you've been invited into the fold, as it were. And your reputation as a professional will be enshrined. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a business card draw. This is a very simple but effective strategy, and it works really well with surveys. So I'm going to cover both of these together. Here's how it works. Find a busy sandwich shop in a busy part of town and ask them if you can run a survey with their customers. You will offer them some top quality perfume for their trouble, and it might be a bit of fun. You can write a questionnaire with 3 simple questions on it. What is the number one thing you love about your job? What is it that you hate about your job? What would you do with your time if you didn't have to work? Put up a sign that says something like, enter our competition and win a free bottle of luxury perfume. Just answer 3 simple questions. Get the staff to join in and get their customers to fill in the questionnaires while they're in the queue waiting to be served. Maybe you could offer them an incentive for getting as many questionnaires completed as they can. The survey is clearly about their job. It will get them to think, and you'll learn a lot about them, even with these 3 simple questions. Then you have to call them all back and let them know whether they've won or not, but it gives you the opportunity to discuss what they have written on those forms. Product catalogue drops. Well, Well, product catalogue drops are pretty much the same as you see Clean Easy and Avon do. Personally, I would have a conversation with the homeowner before leaving a brochure. Better to use a flyer approach coupled with a conversation to qualify the prospect first before leaving a brochure. They are expensive if you lose too many and do not get the right amount of inquiries. But of course, as with all marketing, first you should test small. As you never know, you may discover a small gold mine. Centres of influence. Look for places where people go and where there is a high turnover of people. Hairdressers and beauticians are favourite. But it can include all sorts of retail outlets or groups, airports, even offices and factories. You can ask to leave samples in reception, if you're in offices and factories, for the staff to peruse and place their orders. Leave it there for a few days and go back and collect the orders. Get someone in a building on your side to promote it to the other workers. You could even get the cutest teddy bear you can find and put him in among the samples. Put a notice up that for every 10 bottles of perfume that are sold, you will donate one teddy bear just like this to the local children's hospital with the name of their company around his neck. The teddy stirs the curiosity, and when they realise what you're trying to do, people will be more open to sampling the fragrances and maybe even place an order. If you explain your reason why you're doing this, i.e. to promote your brand, new ethical quality fragrances, it becomes even more acceptable in their minds. Become an expert. This is a little bit more advanced. It will work fabulously for some, but it takes a little time to set up. First, you need to read everything you can about fragrances and the fragrance market. This is where the time comes in. You may need to spend several weeks learning all that you can. Then you write a small book on the subject and have it typeset properly for printing. The cost to do this is usually less than about £50. Then go to Google and look for print-on-demand book printers and find one that does very small runs, less than 50 copies a time. You can get this done for less than £2 a copy. Then go to elance.com and ask for a designer to design a book cover for you. Once again, the cost for this will be less than £50. Send your typeset draft manuscript and the book cover to the printers. Don't forget to write that all-important dedication and get about 20 copies or so printed initially. Now, whenever you talk to anyone about your business, you are an authority on the subject, and you will find it easier to get people to listen to you about the products. This strategy is great for retailing, but not good at all for team building because it's not duplicatable. But if you are the specialist type of person and you feel you need specialist knowledge, then you know what to do.